Hello and welcome to Green Building Bites presented by Green Building Alliance. I'm Leslie Montgomery from the Green Building Alliance team, and in today's bite, we'll be exploring the Higher Education Climate Consortium, or HECC. This is a group that since 2008 has been bringing together the higher education institutions in the Pittsburgh region to make individual and collective goals towards greenhouse gas emissions reductions. They've just completed a strategic plan, so I'm going to be speaking to the steering committee members to learn a little bit about the consortium's past and their future. Let's meet them now. Hi, everybody. I want to say thanks for joining me today for this interview. We have Dr. Marcel Minutolo from Robert Morris University. Hi, Marcel.
Hello. It's good to be here. Thank you, Leslie.
We have Dr. Aurora Sherrard from University of Pittsburgh. Hi, Aurora.
Hi, Leslie. Thanks for having us.
And we have Debbie Steinberg from Carnegie Mellon University. Hi, Debbie.
Hello, how are you?
All right. Thank you all for taking some time with me today. I'm excited to talk about the strategic plan that has just been completed for the Higher Education Climate Consortium. So I have a couple questions, and I'm going to start with you, Aurora. So can you give me a little bit of background on what the Higher Education Climate Consortium is? I guess we'll call it HECC, and a little bit about its history.
Sure, I would love to. So the Higher Education Climate Consortium of Pittsburgh has been around since 2008. It actually formed out of the original Green Government Task Force for the city of Pittsburgh as they were developing the first climate action plan for the city. There were a number of higher education representatives that were part of that process that started collaborating with each other around climate action and realized that there was a lot of benefit to Pittsburgh's higher education institutions sitting at the same table, talking about climate action on a regular basis together. So HECC has existed as a collaborative since 2008. It's still very active, hence our new strategic plan. And our mission is to actively collaborate to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from Pittsburgh's higher education institutions. And the vision is to strengthen the Pittsburgh region's position as a leader in climate action by achieving carbon neutrality.
Great, thank you, Aurora. The next question is for all of you. So I would just like each of you to share your perspectives on why the consortium is important to your institution's individual goals and missions.
So there's a section or a word in the strategic plan, which I think really highlights why CMU is interested in this, is co-opetition. I don't know if we coined that term. I'm sure it existed already, but really the opportunity to collaborate with other Pittsburgh region schools, but then also pushing us to move forward in that. And so being able to use HECC as an inspiration to do more and an inspiration of how we can do that.
And Debbie, Co-opetition is actually a book, and I encourage everybody to read it. It's a good read on strategy. Absolutely right. And I think that leads quite nicely into why I think it's important for our institutions. We learn a lot from each other. Collaboratively, when the HECC gets together and each of the representatives are there or are given a presentation on initiatives that they're doing, I think, oh, wow, we could try something like that too. Or maybe we should try that, or we tried that, it didn't work for us. How did you make it work? So collaboratively, we're learning a lot. And as a group, then, that's helping us all reduce our region's greenhouse gas emissions.
Climate change is a global issue with local ramifications and local actors. And I think HECC has recognized that for a long time, and each of the institutions have their own opportunity to deploy that climate action and awareness. But what really motivates us at Pitt to continue to be involved in HECC over so many years is really the power of the collaborative and what it represents for the city of Pittsburgh, for the region, and really combating global climate change.
All right, my next question is for Debbie. So can you tell me, Debbie, is this HECC's first strategic plan? And then what are some of the key outcomes of the plan?
Yes, so this is the first strategic plan for HECC. So we are excited that to have it after the number of years that the group has been gathering. So other than the objectives, which I'll get to, I think some key outcomes were really through the strategic planning process. We were able to collect and cultivate an understanding of what the group's values are, what sort of qualities are important to the HECC institutions. So it provided us an outcome where we have this this consensus of what really makes HECC. It also provided an opportunity to put together a list of common challenges that we're all facing across universities and colleges, and that we really sort of identified what works for us. So what is currently working? What did we want to keep as we move forward? So from this list and these processes, we came up with 7 objectives and then corresponding strategies that go along with those. So I'm just going to read the objectives real quick. So help all universities meet minimum targets, facilitate accessible knowledge transfer between universities in both operations and research, build more intentionality on equity and environmental justice, strengthen city connections, enhance student connections and experiences, elevate the power of the collaborative to leverage HECC positioning and influence, and celebrate innovation and wins.
My next question is for Marcel. Is this collaborative unique to Pittsburgh and our region, or are there other models that are similar to it?
That's a great question. And the short answer is yes and no. No, easy answer, right? No, it's not unique in that there are other collaboratives across the US where there are cities that have more than one institution of higher education, and they try to work together in order to reduce their environmental impacts. I think we're unique in the way that we're doing it and as engaged as we are with the stakeholders that we are. As you just heard from Debbie's last statement, going through the strategic plan, the city is involved in there, our students are involved in there, our faculty get involved, facilities are involved. We're really engaging broadly all of the stakeholders. While it is Higher Education Climate Consortium, it's inclusive of the communities that we're living within. So I think we are unique in that regard.
Yeah, I find it really intriguing because the institutions, in our region engage with the community on so many levels. So I think it's so neat. So Aurora, I think we've heard, already a couple of ways that HECC is special, but do you have, additional commentary on why you think this partnership is special, not just as its collaborative nature as a partnership, but also as a tool for climate solutions?
So I think one of the things that quite obviously makes HECC special and why we keep hanging out with each other and sharing stories is the people, right? There are some people who have been members of HECC for, the entire 15 years, right? There are people who have moved on to different positions, both within and outside of colleges and universities, who are still involved in HECC. It really is a motivating place and engaging. Marcel said it before, we're always learning something. But I do want to give a little voice to the values that we call out in the HECC strategic plan, because these are very nicely formed, and I think they really reflect why HECC is so special. So the first one is collaborative. We hold a spirit of working together and sharing in a safe space. HECC is also very inspired. You've heard each of the 3 of us say this in some way. We're motivated by one another, recognizing that each of our institutions and their representatives bring exciting ideas to our collective. We do a lot of sharing, and we do that honestly. Also, we try to do it non-judgmentally, because this work is hard, and we know that there are wins and losses every day for each of us. So we create the spaces for those sometimes difficult conversations and then the solutions that come next. We also try to be very inclusive. Right, so HECC is 10 colleges and universities strong, and we know that not every one of those institutions have the same internal and external opportunities. So we've been very consciously trying to be more equitable and diverse in that work. We're generous, right? We're some of us are literal neighbors. Many of us are literal neighbors to each other, and we really want to help those neighbors meet their goals and help everybody make progress. We're conscious. We're aware of the struggles and impacts the way we may have, both positive and negative. There are always unintended consequences from our work, and we really try to get out in front of that. We're dedicated, right? The requirements of climate neutrality and environmental justice drive us, and that is throughout this strategic plan. We're empathetic, right? We're intentionally working together to fully understand not just our institutions, but also our communities, the individuals, and the voices that our decisions impact. But most of all, we're impatient. right? We all understand we're running out of time. We will all celebrate our progress, individual and collective, and acknowledge that there's incrementalism required in this work, but that's a tension with the work that we have to do in global climate change.
That's a great summary. Thank you. I definitely think there's something to be said for being among, peers and being able to share successes and challenges and talk openly. And I'm sure that's really special. Okay, Debbie, so now that the strategic plan is complete, what is the next step for the consortium?
Well, each of the 7 objectives also had a number of strategies that could be undertaken to reach those objectives. Some at the individual institution level, some as a collective. So we have already begun reviewing these strategies and highlighting which ones we think are a priority, which ones we think we can do short term and medium term, saving some of maybe those longer term ones for a little bit more future planning, but really getting ready to start thinking about those short term strategies that work. And then the actual actions that we need to take to implement those strategies. So we've already gotten together as the full group and have started this brainstorming and prioritization. And so we're excited to really then put some action items to that and get started.
Marcel, my next question is for you. How can other higher education institutions or individuals get involved with HECC or learn more about it?
First, I'll say, please get involved. we need all the people that we can get to help out, right? As I think Aurora said earlier, this is a global problem with local implications, and so we need the community to get involved with us. We don't know what the community needs or how we're impacting them unless the community is telling us what they need and what's impacting them. We don't know what each group needs unless they tell us what they need. We're trying to find out, so please get involved. One way is to go to our website, heccpgh.org. That's a good way to learn more about HECC, and there is a contact button on there. You can also follow us on Twitter, HECC_PGH, and we encourage you to follow us on Twitter. Reach out to any of us. I'm more than happy to engage people in a conversation. If you're an institution that wants to learn more about us or think you can contribute in some way based off of your experiences, we'd love to invite you in for a presentation to tell us what you're doing. Likewise, I think most of us would be more than happy to go other places and tell you what we're trying to do as well. And of course, reaching us through the Green Building Alliance is another way that you can reach out to us, and we would appreciate that as well. So any way you can find us, just reach out to us. I think you'll find we're pretty inviting and warm people, and we're happy to work with you.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you all so much. And like I said, I can't wait to see what's next for the group. And I appreciate you all coming on today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good seeing everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.